to BRL Tier 1 for the Breakout Racing League. We're here at the Singapore Grand Prix. It is a dry qualifying so far. We do not know if it will be a dry race. We'll wait and see. And we got 14 drivers here tonight. And getting set here for what should be a fascinating Singapore Grand Prix. And joining me for this week is Mr. Titan.
I'm back, baby. Thought you got rid of me. I'm back.
Yes, Rick James back next week at Japan. But 17:34 on the clock as everyone now makes their way out onto the circuit. And unless if it is
Chandler and
a
Ferrandi
quiet,
out.
that could be the race to watch out for in this one. I'm seeing mediums coming up on the board, so that could be a sign that it may be a dry Grand Prix, but you never know. It could rain at the end. Who knows? Anything can happen. But Singapore, boy oh boy, let's talk about this fantastic Grand Prix circuit. Oh. Let's just say this, folks. Just remember to not get a penalty under a safety car from a lapped car. Just word of advice.
Yeah, just make sure you're far enough ahead.
Or commit to a one stop like I should have done. Let me get through the points real quickly so we can just talk rubbish for the next 15, probably next 10 minutes, because I think all the
runs,
because I think basically almost all these drivers, maybe except for someone like Katra, maybe Axe, maybe Saxman might try to qualify on the softs. Maybe one of those guys.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll do that after
we'll
points.
Talk about that.
After points.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But it is Tier 1, it's a bit different to other tiers where strategy can be all over the board, but Tier 1 you pretty much know what everyone's going to go. Hello chat, I have chat open as well. Points at the moment, Peroni leading by 72 points. The amount of points that he can get, the amount of points that is up for grabs left in this championship is 110. So it is not enough for Peroni to win the championship tonight. He could still maybe win it in Japan, but it's a 72-point lead over Hoopalicious. Bruno Will in third place as we'll watch Chandler Sater here on a, lap, but not really a lap. But the real fight at the moment is for P3 in the championship. Bruno Will, who is not here. None of the McLarens are even here, so that's not a good thing for the both of them. That could allow Chandler and Formula, who is now Jax, in P5 to get up there. Bruno, B Dunk in P6, so close by as well. It's about 33 points between third and sixth, so it's still a very close fight in that part of the championship. And then we got Alan in 7th, Fitfan 8th, Deer Hunter 9th, and Axe, they are tied for P9. That could be a fight to look out for later in the championship, as I am going to switch to Peroni. I'm shocked that Perondi's car is not making the noise that Chandler's car is. Meng Fern in P11, and then it's Fern in 12th, Saxman in 13th, Katra 14th, Juggernaut 15th, Tyler Clan 16th, Edu 17th, Ryan 18th, and Sack in 19th. Williams 166 points, leading over McLaren at the moment. Williams, I don't think they could win it here tonight, but most likely they could win it next week in Japan. That's McLaren, Ferrari, Renault, Merc, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Racing Point, Alpha Tauri, and Red Bull. There it is, done and dusted, the championship points here at the moment as Peroni crosses the line for a validated lap as expected, but Katra crosses the line and goes to pole position. Stop the count. Katra's on pole.
Pole Leclerc, wreck out now. Red flags, come on.
Red flag, yeah. Oh. Let's not get too controversial here.
Okay. Hey, either way, it's a great plan.
Yes. I mean, I've said it for years that this game should have red flags, but boy, that would just cause chaos if that happened in this game.
Sax, man.
So, goes P2. So that just shows you a lot of these drivers are getting themselves ready for a run on medium tyres. Hoop the same thing, he's invalidated. He's just done a 33.5 on softs, but he probably just cut a corner cheekily so he could get that invalidation, which I do not blame him. Fern out there on a set of mediums, the first one to go on mediums. Strategy around here, as we're going to say, most likely most of these guys are going mediums to hards, most likely.
But basically, from what I saw last night when I tested, the two-stop is technically faster, but you have to deal with the traffic of everybody being on that slower and harder tire.
Oh yeah, you have to deal with it really hard. I could tell you from Tier 4, it depends on, of course, what happens up the front and how many cars are ahead. Mediums hards battle can be very interesting. Softs at the end are just, you just love the grip. Superlicious leaves the session. He'll be back, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if anyone maybe goes for the sneaky too. I don't think we're going to see the main runners do that, but you never know.
Oh yeah, maybe some midfield runner like B-Dunk, number 1 FinFan, Axe. Somebody that's normally in the midfield will go for the two-stop, trying to throw a wrench in their championship rivals that maybe promote themselves up to P4, P5 in the championship.
And that's a New Zealander around. He wakes himself up and he turns around. So there you go. And he's too thinking in his mind about being taken out in iRacing Indy 500 once again earlier yesterday. As Deer Hunter goes to the top with 36.548. And the times are red hot here at the moment in Singapore. But that's the nature of this track. But yes, continue on.
Yeah, we're gonna go on a little rant here, but it'd be nice if we were able to pick what tires we wanted to bring, or like how many medium sets. So like, if you went on harder, you had 2 medium sets to qualify on. Like that would make this so much more interesting. You'd have 2 runs.
I mean, I still say you should be able to qualify on the hards. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that too. Well, you can't. Technically, you can qualify on the hards. You just gotta make sure you're 11th.
Sorry, Tyler Clan has a big slide, holds onto it in the AlphaTauri. We're not going to go for onboard lap, just says. He's around. Holds onto it nicely. Very nicely done. I'm not going to go for onboard lap just as yet because not many drivers are going to be doing hot laps. It's a bit of a show for the fans here at Singapore. And Big Dunk just doing what I would usually do sometimes, is just go on low fuel, low ERS like I did yesterday, and just do lap after lap on softs.
Just enjoy the grip while you can.
Yes, that's right. As Jack's out there now on a set of soft tyres, once again he could maybe be thinking about an alternate strategy. Who knows? He's usually one that maybe go for an alternate. FinFan out there already invalidating. He's already getting his mind set for a set of medium tyres. And Chandler Sater now out there on a set of softs as well. Perondi's got his medium set and ready. Katra's got her medium set and ready. Bunch of soft tyres though, so it's still everyone just waiting for their right moments to come out and get their medium run, which honestly, as Chandler invalidates his lap time, which he probably was meant to do anyway, I don't know about you, because I know you did do laps on mediums yesterday. You can do 2 runs. I mean, you could do 2 laps, back-to-back laps on mediums if you wanted to, but you're just going to make sure you don't, screw it up.
Yeah, you basically have 4 fresh laps on those medium tires before they become too warm to be any use in the race. So you got a out lap, you got a push, then you have a cool down lap if you bailed out too late, and then you had another push lap. and hopefully that'll be the end of the session. Which we should be seeing everybody run out right around the 5-minute mark with mediums, just so they have the chance to go have 2 runs. Maybe.
Unless this driver's sort of confident enough to go on to just go out and do the lap straight away, maybe. Who knows? Have to wait and see as Chandler comes into the lane. We've got more drivers making their way out right now. Jax is on a lap, but he has invalidated, so the invalidations once again just coming in thick and fast. There's the only times at the moment, everybody. It is Deer Hunter on top from B-Dunk, Katra and Saxman. No, it's not a realistic race at the moment with the times. But it is Deer Hunter still on top as we just wait for drivers to make their way out. Hoopelish is back out there on a set of softs, but once again, still 7 minutes to go here in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah, they're all just waiting for the track to get into prime position to have the most rubber out on the track, most grip, pretty much maximize everything.
I'll say this now in chat, you'll agree, it's like, let's just hope that we don't have anything go down like we saw in Tier 2 about half an hour ago, where the lobby decided to just end for our commentators, which is probably one of the worst things to happen halfway through the race. But, God, let's hope that doesn't happen here, because, God, here at Singapore, jeez. Long race, very long race.
Yeah, there's going to be a great battle side by side through a portion we don't think is going to happen, and the stream's just going to die.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, is that yesterday in Tier 3, which I like to bring up Tier 3 a lot because I am the main commentator in that, there was 9 cars left for the race, and there was a great battle at the front for top 5. So it's not like you'll say it's just going to be a DRS train, everyone's going to be separate of each other. You never know. It could be a very interesting race. If a safety car comes out, which is very possible, we've still got 14 drivers. Anyone could make a mistake, anyone could go in the wall, and it could be lights out for them, and a safety car could come out and can change the complexion of the race. We've seen that throughout the weekend already here in BRL, and it could do it again here tonight. As Perondi now is coming out onto circuit, and Ryan just doing lap after lap. He should be probably coming in very soon with 5 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. Fin out there on a set of mediums. Hoopelicious out there on a set of mediums. Expecting Chandler to be out there on a set of mediums in just a second. Catra's out there on a lap time right now on medium tyres. The best lap we saw on mediums in T2 just a bit ago was a 34.0 by Aiden Khan on mediums, which was absolutely outstanding. The best lap here last season, which was pole by Hoop, 33.779 on medium. So we'll be interested to see if that gets beaten here tonight, as Deer Hunter does a 35.169 and extends his pole lap. No. Yeah, I don't think he'll have enough time as Katra comes around the final corner. Let's see where Katra can go. Can Katra go to the top? She does. 35.041. And Katra, decent lap. Very good lap. Way better than the lap I did yesterday. And I think Titan will agree, because I heard from Reptile yesterday, everyone in Tier 4 had a terrible lap on mediums yesterday. And I think a few of these drivers may experience that here on mediums right now. Perondi's on a lap, so let's go on board here with Perondi for a lap around Singapore as we come through turn 5. DRS, this is where things are going to heat up here tonight. Best passing opportunity here at turn 7 if you can get the move done perfectly. We're seeing this weekend some chaos into that corner this weekend. Now, difficult part of the track, don't want to hit the wall on the left because it can kill your left front tyre. as the Williams driver now doing very nicely on this lap for his set of mediums. Holds on to it beautifully for 11 and 12 through the bridge. 13, got to get it right through here and gets it okay. As Perondi now, this should be a lap that will take him to pole. Purple sector 2. Let's see where Perondi can go. A tough sector 3 coming up. One of the toughest final sectors on the calendar, in my opinion, because it can turn into chaos if there's drama at the front. As we saw Perondi, they're close to the walls. Because the walls are so close, one mistake can end it for you. As Tyler Clan retires in the pit lane, Perondi now about to come through the last 2 corners. Let's see where the Williams driver can go. It's a 34.099. He has time to lift off and maybe go for another run. But a 34.099 goes to the top as Hoop is invalidated, but he'll probably go again. Not bad lap from Vivien, 34.2, goes P2 at the moment. And Ryan just gets out in time to do a lap on medium tyres. Chandler Sater, purple in the first sector, as he's actually lifted off anyway, so he's going to prepare himself for another run afterwards. Wow. He might make it. We may have a little time glitch like it usually happens to us great spectators in F1 2020. So hopefully for dear sake that is the case for ours. But he came out 1:37, so he may get to the line in time. Maybe. So as and B-Dunk's slow at the moment, so you better hope that B-Dunk doesn't hurt him on this one. As all the drivers are now getting themselves ready for their final run. Mingford, though, I believe is on a lap time now. So let's see what Mingford... No, he's actually lifted off. Never mind. So I'm just getting too excited. Mediums all up and down the board here at Singapore. And everyone now getting themselves ready for their final runs. Hoopalicious on a purple middle sector. Let's see where Hoop can go in the Ferrari. If he wants any chance to maybe make this championship still a chance somewhat, he needs to be on pole position. He was on pole last season with a 33.779. Can he beat that here in Singapore? Coming around the last 2 corners now. Let's see where Hoopalicious can go. It's a 33.835. Goes to pole. And that will be him done for the session. Doesn't beat his pole lap from last season, though. Ooh. D Hunter, by the way, got to the line in time as Jax now goes to P2. So the Williams driver goes up into P2. And just behind Hoopalicious, here's Perondi. Where's Chandler and all this? Chandler is here. So here's Chandler now about to finish off his lap time. As now Fern crosses the line and goes P5 in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see. This could be pole. This could maybe be pole. Watch Chandler here. His teammate will cross the line up ahead first, but Chandler now will come around the last few corners. Let's see where he can go. Can he go to the top and beat Hoopalicious? Round the corner he goes. It's a 33.676. Where's Perondi? He goes second, only just over Chandler. Wow, a just second place for Perondi. Ryan will cross the line, comes around the last 2 corners, and he will do a 34.867, and he will go P7 in this one, and that is qualifying number. B-Dunk's still finishing off here. B-Dunk goes to P7. It's over. It's over. Chandler on pole. 33.676 gets it done. And there's the times for you. And wow, so there you go. Chandler on pole from Peroni and Hoop. These four actually doing very nicely. FinFan doing a good job in P5. And there's the rest of the grid for you. As also Katra qualified in the top 10 very nicely. And there we go. That is done and dusted for Singapore qualifying. Ooh. And Ron, yes, hello all to the chat. And strap yourself in because it should be a great fight between Chandler, Peroni and Hoop up the front. There is the order of the grid here for the Singapore Grand Prix. 14 drivers, 13th for Tyler Clan. Axe did not complete a lap time, but again for Roscoe Wayman Tier 3, he actually started at the back and he got a top 5. So starting at the back may not be a bad thing to do here at Singapore. Ooh. And Titan, I've got a question for you. Want to become famous? No, that was actually WX Tennis 19929. Shout out to that. Wow, shout out to the tennis fans out there. Right. He's on the tennis court. Right. There is the... There's the outside of the top 10, Deer Hunter mediums, Saxman mediums, Tyler Clan hards, and Axe F1 hards. Everyone else on a set of medium tyres, all ready to just march towards lap 10, 11 for the hard tyres. Unless someone springs a surprise and goes a two-stop. Who knows? Ollie saying game on discount. Is it worth to buy? Buy F1 2017 instead. Look, if you're not able to buy 2021 when it comes out, yes, I would say yes. If you want to have the recent F1 game, I'd say yes. If you can't afford 2021 when it comes out in 2 months' time, I'd say yes. But you know, if you rather just wait for 2021, I'd rather wait for 2021, which I'm kind of waiting for 2021. But oof! Right. Buy a Certa Corsa instead. I just said that to make Skippy happy, to be honest. There's XF1 who will be commentating that tomorrow night. Don't forget to tune in for that. I could commentate with him, but I'm actually very busy tomorrow, so I'm not able to. Maybe I'll be able to later on in ACC's season. But we're here for T1. D Hunter on hards, Axe F1 on hards, the 2 Alpha Taris on medium tyres, which might be both of them might be a little annoyed at each other seeing that, since sometimes if you're on the same team with somebody outside the top 10, you kind of want to be on a different strategy. Oh dear. But it's Chandler, Peroni and Hoopalicious. Titan, who do you think's going to win this one? You're stealing right. Well, that's what we used to say when he swallowed the game. I, ju- I just want to say right now, I don't mean he's sweating to go, because he'll come and kill me if I say he sweats to go, because he doesn't. He'll murder me after the race, but so yeah, chat, give us who you think's going to win. But yes, go on. Well, it's Chandler, Perondi, Hoopalicious, Jax, and FinFan. That's your top five. 5 races to go here in Tier 1. And the question is who is going to march towards more victories as we're about to get underway in Singapore. We're racing. It looks like it's a pretty good start for Chandler, but Perondi's with him side by side, and Perondi just doesn't have enough, or does he? He's going to have the line. Can Perondi get there on Chandler Sato? Side by side, these two will go hooping. Jack's bailing out behind, but Perondi leads here in Singapore. Gets it done, and that's a Haas around. It's FinFan. He said it yesterday in Tier 4 he would spin lap 1, and he's actually done it. That's a shame for Finn, though. He was in the top 5. That's a real shame. Ryan's P5. What? Ryan in P5. He's come out of nowhere. He's had a pad start. Oh, my goodness me. As Perondi, Chandler, Hoop, Jax, Ryan. Look at this. The pack has already begun here at Singapore. But Perondi, a superb start. Yeah, there you go. 3 gains for Ryan, 3 gains for Saxman. So there you go. That shows you both Ryan and Saxman had great starts. I mean, it did help that Finn went into the wall, but still, great starts by the 2 of them. As Perondi now starting to get a little bit of a gap here on Chandler in this one. 0.8 the gap as Perondi does the fast lap. Obviously, because it's lap 1 here in this Grand Prix, but the game's in lap 3. But I thought they fixed it, but they didn't. Nice Conies. Meanwhile, moment of silence for all us commentators. As now Katra, Mingfern, Saxman all near each other here at the moment, as also Ryan now trying to close up here on Jax here for P4 in this Grand Prix. And it's going to be it's just going to be a race of who's going to make a mistake, who's going to be able to catch up to someone, who's going to try to do an undercut, and if a safety car is going to come out as FinFan comes in on the hard tyres, and is probably going to try to go to the end if he can. Yeah, exactly right. Or he's just hoping for a safety car, which could definitely could happen. It can happen. We've still got 14 drivers. Everyone is still in the race. And Singapore's one of those tracks where DNS are a very possibility. Meanwhile, Tyler Klein closing up here on D Hunter for P11. Chandler Sato does the fastest up of the race, and Saxman's in. Oh, that's not what you want. Saxman in, and he'll be disappointed in that one. He'll just come in and hope for maybe a safety car later in the race. Meanwhile, Katra catching up to Mainfern. Katra and Mainfern just can't stay off each other here in T1. They always battle it out hard in T1 as Katra looks for the move. Can she get it done? Side by side, these two will go. Oh my goodness me, it looks like it's like a polar opposite of, well, excuse me, I'll speak in just a second because Megford tried to look for it back but couldn't get it done. It's like a polar opposite. to what happened in realistic when I was in the Ferrari and Katra was in the Renault. It was incredible as Katra now threw in a P8, and she'll see if she can move up the field maybe a little bit more. And drivers here at the moment, things are staying steady between here. Pironi, Chandler, Hoopalicious, steady as she goes at the moment. These three are just going to be going long into this race, hoping for maybe something to go down, just get into a rhythm and maybe try to get an attack going to get closer to the guy ahead. Meanwhile, Jax and Ryan near each other. Jax and Ryan probably are going to be the fight for P4 at the moment, but you never know, as Jax actually up ahead had a slight moment coming out of the final corner.
Yeah, and looking further back, Sachs, from breaking his front wing, he went on to the medium, so he is most likely trying to stretch those mediums a bit longer into the stint and still go on hards, or I think it's a bit early to do mediums to softs.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a stretch. Or he could maybe hope for a safety car. We'll just watch Tyler Clay, who hits the wall. Is that end plate damage for Tyler? No, it's not, because he's going for the move from Mingford anyway. Side by side, these two will go, and Tyler Clay goes through a Mingford.
But he goes wide.
Mingford looks not enough for the Renault driver. Tyler Clay holds on. But as we were saying there, he could maybe try to do a sticky and hope for maybe a safety car around 11-12, maybe lap 10, 11, 12, and then put another set of mediums on and then go softs. But I don't think you're going to really do that. You're probably hoping for a set of hards. So, because why would you do a free stop? But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what Saxman's strategy here is in this one. Because Singapore, a long Grand Prix, especially when we're only on lap 4 right now.
Yeah, especially on the fuel department. This track, I'm pretty sure you have the heaviest car on the whole circuit. As Hoopalicious is trying out for the Formula Drift. Drift there, nearly going a full 90 degrees around, or almost doing a full 360, but saves it. Good save by him. I don't see how he even kept the car straight. Only lost 2 tenths there too, so good on him. Incredibly.
Only lost a couple of tenths. So as now Ryan, who using up his ERS, trying to get to Jax here for P4. I feel like Ryan tried to see if he can get possibly as close as he can. Chandler down 0.5, so Chandler's not out of Pirondi's picture at the moment. I think the big thing for Chandler right now is he's just got to keep under that second of Pirondi in this race to not allow Hoopalicious to really put pressure on him from behind. And if he can do that, that'll be pretty good for Chandler's Grand Prix. But we'll have to wait and see, as Ryan now's closing right in here on Jax for P4.
Yeah, on the longest straight, you want to be within half a second to even think about wasting battery to try to pass. It just so it's nice and secure, and you don't have to try to go side by side through that left, right, left.
I mean, you got to wait for your time to really get it done, unless you're impatient like me with you yesterday. You just got to get ready for your move and get it done sometimes. But sometimes you got to be patient with the move. When these guys are, of course, all on the same tyres and only lap 6, you just got to be patient to make these moves, especially at a track like this when it can be difficult.
Yeah, and Hoop just got back into DRS range of the Pironi and Chandler Seda, so good on him from recovering from that half slide. And Chandler Seda is caught a good bit up too.
Meanwhile, Fern is into lane, got wing damage. That's a shame for Fern, and puts on the hard tyres, and we'll go to the end of the race. Ryan comes through on Jax and gets it done. Does Jax fight it back in the Williams? He does not, and Ryan goes up into P4. Ryan probably happy with that P4 at the moment, and he'll try to pull away from Jax if he can, but Jax gets very close to him. as Ryan will try and see if he can pull away from Jax and see if he can maybe get up to that top three and hope one of those top three maybe get a penalty late in the race. Who knows? Meanwhile, Katra and Tyler Clan goes through on Katra, who's Katra now down into P8 in the Ferrari. And hello, Aidan Khan. Hello to you, sir. I did not realise you were moved up to Tier 2 from Tier 3. I only realised that when I watched the Tier 2 stream today. So hello to you and hello to everybody in the chat. It's lap 6 of 31 here in the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's getting tight up the front here again with Pironi and Chandler and Hoop as Fern gets a time penalty. It's getting close. It's getting tight between these three once again.
And if you're Chandler, do you go and try to pull the aggressive move here and just use all your battery just to get past Pironi and put him in dirty air and have him in threat of Hoop, or do you stay behind, save fuel, save ERS, and wait for the stint on the hards to make that move?
I feel like Chandler's going to try and undercut him. I just feel like that's what he's going to try to do. Be interesting if he does do that, but I feel like that's what he's going to do here. I think like he's going to try and undercut Pironi here. Hoop maybe do the same thing, but Hoop's been known to go a little longer and do the same similar thing as Pironi in terms of strategy. Whereas Chandler likes to roll the dice and hope that it comes up magic for him, but we'll have to wait and see as we're getting down the laps here, closing in for that hard tyres. We're closing in here soon on a pit stop here on hard tyres, so we'll have to wait and see what goes down, and if any of these three maybe go for an undercut.
Yeah, lap 10 is probably the very first lap you can probably think about going into the pits for hards, just so they don't like completely fall off that cliff. And looking at how the field is separated right now, if Chandler does want to go on the undercut and pit lap 10 right away, he's probably going to be in the mix-up with B-Dunk, maybe Taylor Clan, and Katra back there. So he's going to be very cautious on if he comes out. He needs to make sure he's in clean air and is not in traffic.
Well, right now it's 20.7 between him and Diaz. Meanwhile, Katra... Oh, no, Tyler Clan is in. Okay, so Tyler Clan comes into the lane. At the moment, I think he will come out just behind Deer Hunter, so... But if they keep... It'll be interesting what the gaps will be compared to those guys soon. So their worry may be Deer they may have to deal with. We'll have to wait and see what goes down there. As Jax now and Ryan... I feel like Jax and Ryan are going to have a long fight for the rest of this Grand Prix. These two are just going to go battling it out. It's kind of like what Ryan's situation was with B-Duck in Italy when they were all up at the front battling hard in Italy. And it's kind of similar here with these three as Fern retires in the pit lane.
I got excited.
Sound like me in Tier 3, God. So Fern retires into the pit lane, and we're now down to 13 drivers. But it's still not over here between these three. These three are still tightly near each other. It's going to be, I think all three of them are waiting for this pit stop here at the moment for their right moment to pounce on one of another.
Well, looking at a little just impression here. Looking at the batteries of our top three runners, Pironi has about 40% average. Chandler Seda has about 65%. Then you got Hoop over here in the 80s and 90s. Wait, what?
Well, this is what he did in Austria. He did this in Austria where he just saved his ERS and then he went for the right moment and passed Pironi. As Chandler gets close here to Pironi here, does he think about it?
He's using battery.
He's using battery. He goes for the move. Side by side, Pironi. Oh, contact between the two. Chandler goes through to the lead. And Pironi, I don't think he fought it. He fought it, but I don't think he actually needs to. Chandler, hold on to it, son. And he does. But Perondi now, he'll have to worry about Hoopalicious behind, and now Perondi could be the one that could play the games with Chandler in terms of pit stops and when he's going to pit. So it'll be interesting to see. But Perondi just did not have a good opening part to that lap, and you just saw it. Maybe those mediums are just dying here for Perondi because Hoop is starting to close in on him.
Yeah. Who was watching the two go side by side and wheel bang, and he was hoping they would take each other out there. That definitely looked for a moment they were about to, but them being tier 1 drivers, we're expecting them to just fling the car around each corner perfectly and hit every apex. So going side by side in a place where going side by side is just normal for these guys. And Hoop and Perondi go dive in the pits. Lap 10.
Perondi's in, Hoop is in. I said it, didn't I? I said that now Perondi being behind Chandler, he could do this. So now Chandler's going to have to really do a very good lap here at the moment, and he's going to have to be really on it. So Perondi now in the lane, Hoop in the lane. Hoop had to follow him. Hoop's in the situation where you just follow the drivers, as they have clean air for now till Chandler pits. So they're going to have clean air as much as they can for 4.5 seconds to Deer. So they're going to have clean air here in this one, as now Chandler is still out in front. He's used that ERS, so he is going for it here to make sure he gets ahead of Perondi once he comes into the lane.
Yeah, I was about to ask the question, do you think Chandler will stay out and just try to go do the overcut? But looking at where Perondi and Hoop are, they're in clean air. Looks like they're already gaining time back. So he should.
I feel like he has to come in. He's had track position. He's just got to come in because he knows Perondi in clean air is very quick. Ryan and Jax once again behind. Jax has a moment, holds on to it very nicely. The Williams driver, he's pushing it to the absolute limits as Chandler comes in.
Yes, he does.
So full-on attack mode he did, and stops very nicely into the lane. Ryan going for the overcut as Jax now comes into the lane, and for the first time in BRL Season 6, New Zealand Ryan is the race leader, as Chandler, Jax, Big Dunk in as well, and Katra in.
Beanford stays out.
Now,
Pierce will stay out. And
watching this from Perondi. Here's Perondi on board. There's Chandler coming out of the lane right now.
Will Chandler get around Deer Hunter?
Oh, Perondi! Perondi almost loses it, holds onto it nicely. So Perondi, it's basically the same gap here at the moment. One thing that could help Perondi here is that Chandler's going to have to try to get past Deer Hunter here. He could go for it here. He goes for it, dives on Deer Hunter, gets it done. He had to do it. And Perondi's going to have to do it on Deer.
Good move.
Hoop tries to go through as well, but he can't. He's got to look for it here, and he does. Yeah, Hoop through on Deer Hunter, so Hoop goes up into the position, and Finsay steady as Hoop misses the wall by a cigarette paper there. My goodness me, Hoop was so close to hitting the wall. Beautifully by the Ferrari driver holding on to that. As Chandler now closing up on his teammate Meanford, as Ryan now should be probably in the pits very shortly.
And Deer Hunter gets a 3-second time penalty.
Ryan's gone long. Ryan is going long in this one, as Jax, I think, actually got wing damage because he's actually behind B-Dunk now. So that's interesting to point out, as FinFan gets a tyre penalty. Meanford is coming in anyway, and Saxman gets a time penalty. Perondi now still half a second behind Chandler. Hoop still half a second behind Perondi. These three still going, and it's here in this one.
Yeah, Ryan's now using all of his batteries, so this is his in lap, and something. Oh no, Meanfern is in the pits. I didn't see the pits.
Well, Ryan might not know, but Jax had wing damage, so Ryan is going to get out ahead of B-Dunk as Hax gets a time penalty. So Ryan's still going to be in that P4 spot anyway because of Jax coming into the lane. So Ryan's just going to have a bit more better hard tyres under his belt here in this one. As meanwhile, speaking of Jax, he goes through on B-Dunk for P7 in this Grand Prix, and Jax now goes up to a position.
Yeah, and our trio's right back in DRS with one another, so these three definitely won't be missing each other after this.
No, they're going to be right on each other's tails for most of this race. As we'll see what the Racing Point does here. On the medium tyres at the moment, he will mostly come in for a set of hard tyres. He will come into the lane, and we'll see if he does come out ahead of Jax, who he's been battling with for most of the race. As this top three, as you said, just can't stay off each other at the moment. And I feel like this is going to be the story of this race until a storm brews.
And Chandler sets fastest lap, too.
Yeah, Chandler with the fastest lap of the race, and that's a statement there from Chandler. Here's Ryan coming out of the lane. Jax is there. Ryan should get ahead. He does. So Ryan's going to have clean air. He's going to have a lonely probably 15, 16, 17 laps from his point of view, trying to just keep off Jax from behind him. That's pretty much what Ryan's race is going to be. As Tyler Glenn gets a time penalty in this Grand Prix on lap 13 of 31.
Yeah, Chandler, Pirati, and Hoop are all catching up to the back of Axe, and Axe is yet to pit, and he probably doesn't want to pit until lap 20 to 21 and hop on those mediums, so he might not want to give up that position.
Interesting to see, won't it?
Well, yeah.
Very interesting to see.
And will he let the three go and let them race their own race, or does he think if he holds this position that might give him an advantage over everybody else? Yeah.
Perondi 0.3 right now. Perondi's closing up here on Chandler Sater here for P2, which will be effectively for the lead very shortly. But Perondi's problem right now is that Chandler's closing right up here on Axe, and we'll have DRS. Chandler will try to look here at turn 1, I think, if he can. Axe, last corner. Yep, Chandler will try. Perondi with a penalty. Okay.
That is race-winning, changing potential right there, and Hoop has been falling slightly off of from Perondi and Chandler as well.
Here he has just Chandler looking for the move here on Axe. Perondi's going to try to come through this as well. No, free wide! Perondi through the middle! Are you kidding me? Perondi's going to go for the move. Can he get it done? Goes around the outside of Chandler, and wow, Chandler holds on. But boy, oh boy, that was a brave move for Perondi. Luckily, it didn't end in drama. Axe lets through Hoopalicious. But boy, oh boy, that could have been a big moment between these two. Oh.
Yeah, if Perondi made that move stick, that could possibly be the overtake of the week.
Maybe of the season, my goodness me. Perondi almost got it done. But now he's going to get back into Marina Bay and try to get back close to Chandler again, because Superlicious now is closing in on the back of him here for P2 in this race. But my goodness me, Perondi's penalty is, he's still going to be on a podium, but he would be frustrated because he would want the win. But he'll try to knuckle down here and try to get closer again to Chandler here for P1. But Chandler now 0.9, slowly but surely trying to get out of that DRS range.
Yeah, and looking at battery again, Hoopalicious again with a huge ERS advantage over the two drivers in front of him.
I think purely he's hoping for something to go down between those two. That's what he's hoping for here at the moment. I think he's just going to run his own. It's only lap 15. We're not even halfway yet. I think he's purely just waiting for something to go down. He's sitting behind, waiting for the moment, and he's going to try to go through. Meanwhile, Ryan through on his teammate D Hunter for P5, as Ryan now just has completely cleared track ahead of him in this one. But this top three, I know we focus on this top three too much, but there's not much else going on in this race. We'll go for the gaps actually through the field here as we're getting close to the halfway point of this Grand Prix. It's Chandler, Perondi, Hoopalicious, Axe yet to pit as of yet, Ryan, D Hunter who's yet to pit as well, Jax in P7, B Dunk in P8, Catcher doing very nicely P9, all on her Losum at the moment, no one near her. Mean Fern in P10, Fin Fan who pitted lap 1 is in P11, Saxman P12 and Tide Clan P13. Saxman on the hard tyres as we expected. As we come up to the halfway point.
Yeah, I've been watching Perondi in Sector 3 and he looks like he's struggling big time. He lost about 4/10 all in that third sector and he tapped the wall with his rear tire a few times, pretty much driving around like a drifter, pretty much.
Yeah.
He does not look comfortable on those hards.
Well, you said yes. I feel I said it this weekend so far. It's at the hard, so it could be a tyre that could be very either love them or you hate them at this circuit. And at the moment, Chandler's getting the knuckle down on those hard tyres and doing very nicely. It looks like Perondi not doing perfectly on those hards at the moment. As meanwhile, Jax goes through on D Hunter for P6. And that at the moment is going to be for a top 5 position in this Grand Prix. On lap 16 of 31. Here in this one, Tyclan on the medium tyres behind, 21 seconds behind his teammate. There is the penalties so far. It's actually very not bad across the board. Hoopalicious lost a little bit of time there, Perondi, by the way. Not bad across the board. 3 seconds Perondi, 3 seconds Axe, 3 seconds Sea Hunter, and then 10th down to 13th, all penalties as well. So penalties could still play a part as we've still got a long way to go in this Grand Prix, so we'll keep an eye on that. But it's lap 17 of 31 in this Grand Prix, and Chandler holding on to this lead very nicely, Perondi behind, and Hoop doing a good job to be in the position that he is in. I feel like soon you may see Perondi trying to close up really here on Perondi to maybe see if he can get past Perondi and then try to attack Chandler for the win if he possibly can. But he's got to get past Perondi first, and that could be a very tough task.
Well, yeah, especially if Perondi can stay within the DRS Chandler. And so basically, Hoop needs to bully his way past Perondi and hopefully save enough battery where he has the advantage over Chandler. And that, again, not a very easy. It's easier said than done, as Perondi goes very wide through there.
Yeah, Perondi's just having some wide moments, having some close moments, but then that DRS and the momentum's helping him to get back that margining loses on Chandler. So that's what's helping Perondi at the moment, as Tyler Clan back in P13 does the fastest up of the race at 58.425. That just shows you that the mediums are a very crisp tyre around the Singapore Grand Prix. As thank you, Anakan, I appreciate it. As lap 18 of 31, we've still got a long way to go at this Grand Prix. I feel like I said it yesterday in Tier 3, a storm could brew at some point, and I feel like soon we could see a storm brew in this one, as Axe is in. Medium tyres should be going on here for Axe F1.
Yes. Yep, medium tyres for Axe. So that should tell Deer Hunter he has about 1 or 2 more laps on those hards, and he's going to slap on the mediums, unless he's trying to do the hards to softs, but that wouldn't make any sense.
No, I don't think it would either. Where does Axe come out? He just comes out ahead of Mingford. So Axe all really has to deal with is Catra, and he could maybe get up to Big Duck at one point, and maybe, well, maybe it's a bit of a stretch to get up to Jax. But I think the aim for Axe right now is speed penalty for Finn Fan. That pretty much explains Finn's race right there. I think for Axe right now, I think goal target, I mean, he does have a penalty, but still, the goal target for Axe right now could be a P6, especially once Deer Hunter comes in.
Yeah.
Because, what's the margin here? He's 14 seconds behind B-Dunk. It may be a bit of a stretch to get to B-Dunk, but you never know. So, but the goal will be trying to get past Catra, maybe trying to hold on to Catra if he can hold off Catra in the end. So we'll wait and see how that battle goes down. Meanwhile, B-Dunk, who's all on his lonesome, trying to get past here, D-Hunter for P6. D-Hunter yet to pit in this Grand Prix. And B-Dunk looking to see if he can get by, as we'll see what D-Hunter does here. Does D-Hunter come into the lane? No, he does not. So B-Dunk's going to have to find a way by.
Yeah, you gotta pass him the old-fashioned way, man. He's probably gonna wait for the longest straight. They do have similar battery, and we have a car around. That's Catra.
Oh, Catra's around. And that's a shame for Catra. Catra was doing very well in this race. And Catra, that's a shame for her. B-Dunk comes to the move for D-Hunter and goes to P6. So B-Dunk now P6 in this Grand Prix. And Axe now has completely clean air. Doesn't have to worry about Catra. Does Catra have damage? Catra I don't think has damage. So at least she didn't get damage from it, and now she can try to hold off Mingford here because Catra does not have penalties, whereas Mingford does. So Catra, if she could just get a ring along here, could still stay in the points. Which, honestly, she still could because Saxman's about 15 seconds behind P10.
Yeah, she can still possibly get Deer Hunter here when he pits too, and just has it and keeps a decent pace.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. I do forget that Deer Hunter's yet to pit. He should be coming in very shortly as Hoop is close and right hitting on Perondi. I feel like it's a matter of time here before we see Hoop go past Perondi here soon.
Ooh. Perondi was on the edge of not being in DRS.
Hoop had a moment as well behind. As looks like as Jax gets a time penalty, Deer Hunter is still going long in this Grand Prix. And I can tell you from experience, if Deer can get to 23-24, he's going on the soft tyres, I can tell you that much, as Axe gets the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, Deer might be stretching for those softs just so he can get that fastest lap point away from anybody else, as he has no battery. Yeah, just Deer Hunter and no battery pretty much go together like peanut butter and jelly at this point. Not to be mean or anything. It's just something I've noticed. Okay, going back up. Looking at Hoop's battery. Hoop's used about 20% of his battery, so he's definitely starting to push the envelope forward that he wants to get past Perondi as FinFan goes fastest.
Yeah, FinFan goes fastest. This is the one thing I think he needs right now. He needs Chandler to really push here and Perondi to be out of that DRS. I feel like that's going to be. It's going to be Hoop's only chance here to get by. If Perondi can get out of that DRS, but Perondi's actually close up here on Chandler once again. So it's a topsy-turvy.
Whoa, okay.
For the top three.
Perondi's really close. Perondi could realistically go for the move here.
Jax is coming behind. I don't know why Jax is coming in. He may have damage. Pironi can't get the move done. I'm just going to check if Jax has actually have wing damage. No, he's decided to go into set of mediums. So obviously he's not happy with how his race is going at the moment. So he's decided to go a two-stop and go another set of mediums, even though he could have waited a couple more laps to go on sauce anyway. As Katra gets a time penalty. But it's equal to Mingfern anyway, and she is pulling away from Mingfern, so she's still in a good position in this race.
But got away from Mingfern and now in DRS of Jax.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by why Jax pinned. I'll just leave it. Because I think D Hunter's definitely going to the soft tyres. I don't know why you'd wait, not wait for another 2 more laps and go on the sauce. As Finfen does another fastest lap of the race down in P12 at the moment in this Grand Prix, and things now gap again between these top 3 at the moment. They spread out again, so these 3 are just spreading out with each other, waiting just who can catch up to one another, who can make moves. The only story in this race is going to be is if Pironi can close in on Chandler, or Pironi gets out of that DRS and Hoop gets by him. Ryan gets a time penalty, but I don't think he really would care, since really the next car behind him is 11 seconds. So yeah.
Yeah, he's
Hoop, hold on, Hoop looking for the move here on Pironi. Round the outside, these 2 will go, and my goodness me, he looked for it there, Pironi. It went out of nowhere. Pironi must have had a real bad exit out of 5 maybe, and Hoop close again to the wall. Hoop was right on him, couldn't get it stick though, and wow, he's got to make those type of moves, Hoop, if he wants a chance at Chandler for the win.
Yeah, and that was basically Hoop's just throwing everything at the wall there. That could possibly be his only chance of channeling Chandler there. Gone. All of his batteries gone. He pretty much is par or even with Rondi and Chandler now in battery. He's just got to wait for
now.
He's got to wait for
now.
He's falling off.
It could be a story of now settling in, get that P2, and maybe wait for another chance at Pironi maybe, and hope maybe Pironi can close in on Chandler for the win. That could be another thing that Hope may hope for. As Axe behind's gone past D Hunter. Axe now P6 as Hoop gets a time penalty. So now that changes everything once again for Hoop.
Yeah, that it just gets worse and worse for Hoop in the past 2 laps.
I apologise, chat, for looking through this. Okay, so Chandler 1 warning. So Chandler can afford a little track limits if he has to. So there you go. Chandler is really in the hot seat right now to win this Grand Prix, as Jax gets another time penalty down in P8. But yeah, Chandler's in a real hot seat to win this now, unless something... Pironi gets another penalty!
Oh, that...
Oh. And Hoop will be... if I'm Hoop, I'm smiling from grin to grin there, because, I mean...
that...
Even though you want to win, and I know Hoop, we've spoken to Hoop during podiums, and Hoop wants to win races, still...
P2's
still
P2.
got a chance at P2. Yeah, you still got a chance at P2 with Hoop, with Pironi at the moment. Look how close Pironi is to Chandler at the moment. My God.
Pironi, we're looking at angry Pironi right now. Pironi may actually push Chandler out of the way for on track P1.
Oh, Chandler gets a better exit though, much better for the last 2 quarters, and Hoop now closes up again. I feel a storm is brewing around the Singapore Grand Prix between these 3. Can Hoop get a good run through here and maybe try to close up again on Pironi? Or Pironi has some moment, so does Hoop. He's just not close enough. Hoopalicious, not close enough. So Hoop will have to settle in here for P3 still at the moment. It's still up 24-31.
Another moment there, almost nosedives into the inside wall.
God, I tell you what, as Deer Hunter's in, soft tyres will go on. And for Deer, honestly, Deer was probably just staying as long as he can, hope for a safety car as well. But he's just going to put the soft tyres on. Well, and a matter of fact, he could get Saxman at the end, because Saxman's down, is coming up to P10 now. So Deer Hunter could still hunt down Saxman for P10 in this Grand Prix. So look out for that, everybody.
So yeah, we're definitely gonna have a race. We have a race for P1 right now, and we're gonna have a race for fastest lap as well. So
I'd like to point out here, Titan, Axe is 1.9 behind B-Dunk. Wow. I wonder if that has to be pure speed from Axe, because the margin between him and Ryan has not really changed a whole lot. So Axe doing superbly on these mediums at the moment, and Axe could get a top 5 here, even though he does have penalties. Still could get into that top 5. Doing beautifully.
yeah, but quoting one of the most famous commentators in the world, is one thing to catch and another thing to pass. So I don't think B-Dunk is gonna give up that position kindly.
And the good thing for Axe at the moment is that he's only on 6 lap old memes, so the memes will be a bit more nicer to him at the end compared to if he pitted like lap 16, 17. So they should be a little bit more nicer to him at the end of this Grand Prix. As Jack's got the fastest up on the race, who's now trying to close up here on Axe and B-Dunk. Ryan all on his low, 14.7 seconds behind, hoping for these top 3 to absolutely go at it with each other. You never know. It got very close between Hoop and Perondi. Chandler and Perondi have had a bit of closeness with each other. It's just, I don't know what to say.
It's an interesting one. It's probably the closest word that we can put it to, without pulling out the urban dictionary.
Watch Axe here, because Axe is getting very close here to B-Dunk for P5. Oh no, Axe, don't commentate this first, please. Oh my god.
That was close.
As he locks up as well. Oh my god.
And here comes Jax.
Oh no. I've cursed him
You
so
cursed
bad.
Axe. Oh.
Israel, it's Perondi 6 seconds, Hoopalicious 3 seconds at the time being. There's the penalties for you out on track. Well, the good thing for Axe right now is that Jax has 6 seconds worth of penalties. And actually, I can go to this screen now since everyone's done their pit stops at the moment. And Fitfred's gone past Tyleclare for P12 behind, as that is...
That's a
Tyleclare lane cast. Okay. Late race safety car, gone.
Oh my...
Meanwhile, Axe looking for the move here on B-Dunk. Can he get it done? He does. He gets it done before Jax can have a chance at him. Oh, B-Dunk both. Oh, there's contact. Jax in the wall. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You heard it here first. Mitchie called it. Mitchie cursed him. Mitchie cursed it. Oh. The question is,
and that wasn't
happens
even
with the top
a retirement. Now, I can tell you this right now. Yesterday in Tier 3, soft tyres are so good at the end here. You got to pit.
Yeah, Chandler has the free choice here. Chandler has the free choice.
Yeah, you got to. By the way, this could give New Zealand Ryan a podium, because Perondi has 6 seconds. He's got 3. Well, watch out for that. But yeah, they have to pit. The softs are so. I hate to use this word, but on purpose changing his wing, but he can anyway. It's not going to lose him time. It's not really going to lose him time because he's P3.
That's probably why he was losing a bit of time on a little bit of time in corners. Maybe a little lime green wing damage.
B-Dunk as well could get good positions here because he has no penalties. But yeah, Hoop probably glad he could change that wing while the safety car is out. Oh my goodness me! And he had the gap between him and Ryan. Boy oh boy, you're teeing up now. Everyone in on Sauce, as I said, at this circuit, Sauce are just so big advantage, and you have to come in on Sauce. It shows you right now. Well, FinFan's actually lapped down, but does Deer Hunter stay out? Yeah, Deer stays out. I thought Deer would, even though he's got a few lap older tyres. Deer does
it's free
stay
track
out. He
positions.
does get yeah, exactly. It's free track positions. You may as well. And the sauce still will not be that bad for him. It won't be, the guys behind on fresher sauce will be better, but it still won't be as bad as, say, being on a hard tyre right now.
Oh, yes.
So all sauce down the board for a safety car that was brought out from that incident between Jax and B-Dunk. And, well, really, B-Dunk went wide, so did Axe, and then Jack's contact lost the wing, and the game said safety car. Probably because it's the Aston Martin safety car, as David Croft likes to say. We have many safety cars because it's sponsored by the safety car. Oh. But yeah, I mean that should have only been a VSC, but we're happy that it's a safety car.
Oh yes, it makes it so much more interesting.
Oh, it does. It does, because now it's game on. Everyone's on good grip. Everyone's going to be pushing hard. There's going to be chances of maybe more wing. It's going to be interesting. Now, the disadvantage for Ryan is he's got a lapped car up ahead of him. It doesn't really matter which Ryan. You just got to make sure that you don't hit the back of the lapped car. Well, Tyler's coming in anyway, so there you go.
Yeah. Taylor's coming in. Yeah. Let's just hope the lapped Haas doesn't go into the back of Hoop here and give him a 5-second time penalty. If you're wondering why Mitchie is being so quiet, it's because he's having Vietnam flashbacks right now.
Wait, what about Vietnam? What do you mean? what?
Okay, he just got back. Okay.
What do you mean Vietnam? What happened to Vietnam? I don't remember. It's been such a long season. Oh God.
Or I should say Singapore flashbacks. More like it.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes,
La
yes,
Paz.
yes. Yeah. Well, Ryan's actually got Fin up ahead, who's a lap down.
Yeah, but Finn should let
there behind.
Yeah, Finn should be letting everybody by him. He's a respectable driver. He knows he doesn't want to hold anybody up. And Taylor's on mediums.
Well, it's a lap down anyway.
Yeah.
To be fair, and he has 15 seconds worth of penalties, so we'll give him a pass on that.
Yeah, maybe mediums do feel better around here.
It's a bit different to shout out to the henchman in Tier 6 who got 3 drive-through penalties in a row in Monza. Shout out to the henchman if he ever watches this.
Shout out to the real one.
So, yes. So, this is going to be interesting now. B-Dunk could be off maybe for a podium, maybe, if he could stay within this pack. It depends on what this top 3 does. If this top 3 battles it out really hard here, it could be anyone's ball game. But if this 3 go away up at the front, who knows? As the safety car is in this lap, it didn't come up on my screen that safety car was coming in this lap, but anyway, here we go.
And if you're Pirani... Oh wait, go ahead.
I'd like to point out the 2 times we're commentating with each other, both have had a late race safety car.
So, interesting race, just have us in here.
Exactly. As Chandler now he's waiting for the moment to go on Pirani. Oh, Perotti, I think, actually did well. Perotti did very well to stay with him here. Game on. Here we go. Hoop, if I'm Hoop, I'm just sitting behind watching the drama unfold. 3 to go here in Singapore. What will go down here in this pack at the moment? Chandler's actually pulling away here slightly. Hoop now will try to see if he can get past Perotti. Meanwhile, Jax is through on D Hunter for P7. As B-Duck now sees if he can close up here on XF1 for P5, because B-Duck could gain a few positions up ahead if he could stay within this pack. Ryan trying to stay close to this pack as well, because he could beat Perotti on track. All going down here at the moment as we're closing down the laps, and I'm pretty sure the last lap will be DRS, question mark?
Oh, yeah, no, it actually will be. If it's not,
I think it will be, yeah.
If it's not, you can blame both of us.
Shows you how much we play this game. But,
Yeah.
So, look at this now. Ryan now will be also, he will probably try to use Hoopalicious up ahead for some toe to gain margin, especially on B-Duck, who's trying to go for the move here on XF1. Side by side. Oh, a bit ugly between those two there. But Jax comes through out of nowhere, and Jax through up to P6. And now he's going to try to close up here on B-Duck for P5. My goodness me. Lap 30 of 31 coming up right now, and Chandler's still holding on to that lead, but only just.
Yeah, and B-Dunk just got... Okay, ugh. B-Dunk just wants to stay 3 seconds behind New Zealand Ryan here, and he could possibly get a podium.
I tell you right now, if DRS was enabled right now, Perotti might go for the move, but it could still maybe go for the move here. Here we go. Look at the top 3 all near each other.
Yep, they're all burning the battery.
Behind. Does Perotti close enough for a move? No. Folks, Chandler has a little bit wide. Perotti looks for it. It's just not an... Oh, he still
here comes Hoop.
Shows the nose. And Hoop just sitting there behind. Look at this. Chandler struggling a little bit here at the moment at the front. But Chandler, even if he gets past, he's still going to get the win. But Chandler, knowing the fighter Chandler is, he wants to stay P1 on track. Especially Perotti's hit him. Contact. Oh, and here comes Hoop to go around the outside. Chandler held onto it. Close down between Hoop and Perotti. If Hoop can get this done, he does. Yes, he gets it done. Hoop through to P2. Perotti down the field. Oh, and Ryan's hit the back of Perotti now. Oh, dearie me. And B-Dunk. B-Dunk is in the podium position here for a P3, maybe a P2 in the end of this. We'll have to wait and see. But it's not over because Hoop is closing up here on Chandler. Closing right up on him here.
And DRS,
for the
here
move.
we go.
Wow. Wow. If Chandler gets a penalty, this will open things up, but I think Chandler should be able to hold on. Things have just opened up in this race at the moment. Contact from Perotti to Chandler. Ryan, contact to Perotti. It's just contact galore. Everyone hitting each other. Would love to see it because it's just brought the chaos. And now Hoopalicious goes for the move here on Chandler. Gets it done, but does he? Side by side these two will go. And Chandler holds on for now. Perotti still in this fight. And Hoop just holding on to it. Only just. And wow, B-Dunk could be in a P2 position in this race at the moment. Let's just hold our breaths for a second. It's still not over. As someone surrounded the back, it's been third. Finn Fenman time penalty, who did the fastest lap just before. 1 to go. 1 sector to go. Hoop thought about it. He thought about it, but it's just not close enough. Hoop, at the moment, is going to be down in P3. Chandler's going to win this race. B-Dunk could very well get P2 unless he gets a time penalty. Last lap. Last few corners. It is just... this race has just turned into absolute chaos with that safety car. And Chandler Sater will get back-to-back wins. His 3rd win of the season. Round the last corner. And he will win the Singapore Grand Prix. Hoopalicious
And
second.
B-Dunk P2.
Yep. B-Dunk in P2. Hoopalicious third. Ryan fourth. Axe with a top 5 and Perondi P6. Perondi, 3 races in a row, has just gone from worst position of the season to worst position of the season to worst position of the season. My God!
And he's gone. He's left.
Oh dear, we'll try to get the top 3 in just a second. Don't know if it will. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But what a finish to that Grand Prix it was. And Chandler with the win. Axe, I'll agree. Axe a top 5. And started last. I said it at the start of the qualifying. You start last, you can get a top 5. I told you.
And you also said it. And you were also talking about the safety car as well. So you should go play the lottery. Just say.
I wish, but there you go. What a finish to that race. And what can you say? What can you say? And there are the results. FinFan with the fastest lap of the race denies any of the top guys at the front of a extra point, as I'll invite the top 3. There's the results, everybody. Wow.
Yeah, there's really no one single word you can describe the ending of the race. Like, dramatic, maybe. Exciting, most possibly. Dramatically exciting, probably. That's
dramatically exciting. Dramatically exciting, yes. It was interesting though. The whole entire race was very interesting. Just the story within it, and absolutely incredible. B-Dunk has joined us. We'll get to him in just a second. Chandler should as well. I don't expect it will be, but there's the results for everybody. What a race here in Singapore, and boy oh boy, what else can you say after that Grand Prix? My God. But yeah, Titan, you can start things off with B-Dunk in P2.
Okay, B-Dunk. I think lucky with the safety car, and luck had something to do with it, but it also takes skill to not have a time penalty throughout the race, and it also takes skill to capitalizing on being a chance to get a podium. And P2, highest finishing position of this season of BRL. I just want to know how you feel right now, man.
Well, 10 minutes before this race, I wasn't expecting anywhere near a podium, but yeah, I did a 50% throughout this race before this, but I had to change the setup like very last minute because it just felt horrendous. Like, I was just forcing the car through the corners, and I pretty much just winged this setup, like this race, with a completely unknown setup. So it was so unknown heading in here. Qualifying wasn't good, and then yeah, but I will admit the pace I had in the race was absolutely dismal. But I knew if I could avoid penalties, I mean, that's all that would really matter at the end of the day. Like, I wasn't expecting a late safety car. I mean, about that incident, I don't know if you saw it on stream with Jax. Did you guys catch that on stream?
Yep.
So.
Yep, we did.
Okay, so I saw Axe go past me, and then we were going through the corner. I knew Jack was right there, but the car felt like I got a tap in the rear, and all of a sudden, like, I had to like slam on the front brakes, like lock the fronts up just to avoid going in the barrier with him. But unfortunately, he went into the barrier. I don't know if he touched me at all in the rear, or if it was because of desync, since we're on completely different sides of the world. But I feel bad about it, but like, I did everything I could in that situation. If I didn't lock the fronts, I was going in the barrier with him. So, and then the safety car came out because of that, and I just knew just to avoid getting a penalty and keep Jack and those guys behind me. So, yeah, P2. I'm over the moon with this. I was not really expecting this going in, so I'm overly delighted with that.
Yeah,
And
we're overly. Yeah, we're
congrats
overly
to
delighted he
Chandler
got.
and yeah, congrats to Chandler on keeping out the penalties as well. I think we were the only two that avoided pens, and then Hoop on the P3 there. Yeah, that was very fun. Despite
How do
my
you feel
dismal
about
pace.
Japan next week?
Japan I quite like. I mean, I know it's more of a wheel track, especially the first sector, but heading I know Japan's typically been a good track in previous seasons, so I'll see what I can do. Probably won't be podium territory, but if I could try to be maybe like best of the rest of the midfield, like around the P4, the like P7 territory, somewhere around there, I'll be happy with that. So
Yes, well done on P2 in that race, and we'll move on to our race winner Chandler. Talk us through that, the late race safety car, and given that move importantly, just before the first pit stop on Perondi as well, which I'm pretty sure that really did help your race to be up the front early on.
The plan was to get ahead of them before the stops, and I was expecting them to go 10 or 11, but they went 9, and so I was like, okay, I've got to use my battery, and so I did on my end lap, and I actually made a mistake, which made me just dump even more battery. I dumped my entire battery. But it turns out I had the gap anyway. That mistake wasn't the factor. Unfortunately, I ran into the problem of I could not regen any battery the entire race. So, that was kind of a problem. But that move definitely was what made sure I was ahead of him for the entire hard stint. And then even the soft stint. So, it was quite important for the race.
Yeah, it was. It was quite important for your race and to get that done. Yeah, not much else to say with that after that safety car restart. Japan next week. What do you feel about Japan next week?
It's a track I can be good at. It really just depends. I mean, it might go like today where I'm fast at the track, but then I'm just way off my pace for some reason the day of. Today I was 8/10 off my PB in quali on the mediums. So that could happen at Japan. But then again, last season at Japan, I set my PB in the actual session. So we'll look for a pace like that come next week.
Yeah, that's right. Well, congrats to our top 3 for joining us. And yeah, Titan, thank you for joining me. That was an interesting race, and me predicting the safety car would come out 30 seconds before it came out.
I think it was more 10 seconds than 30 there. It was like instantaneously. Like a late.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally it was, but it was an interesting race to say the least. Tomorrow night, ACC's first round. Join us for that one. XF1 Push will be commentating that. And then, folks, it's been one hell of a week so far. That is, join us for T5 and T6. Good luck to the commentators for T5 and 6, because my goodness me, it's going to be wild in those races. And then join us for the circus returns around again. Realistic F2 for the Japanese Grand Prix. And join us next Saturday. I was about to say next Sunday, but I forgot I'm in an American league at the moment. Next Saturday, it is the Japanese Grand Prix. Sir Rick James back with me next week. And until then, it's a goodbye, good night, and good afternoon all around the world. Goodbye.